I'm getting code 44E on a Samsung French door refrigerator.
Do you know the model of your Samsung fridge? How old is it?
/model RF23 Sedzer/AA.
How long has this been going on with your Samsung refrigerator? What have you tried so far?
I've replaced the inverter board after testing that it was receiving 120 volt but not putting out the 240 it's supposed to.
Is there anything else the appliance expert should know before I connect you? Rest assured that they'll be able to help you.
The motherboard was replaced by a so-called technician sent by Samsung as a fix for the ice maker frrezing. After he left, the fridge did not work. He never came back /.
Hello, and welcome to Just Answer. My name is I will be the one to assist you. Sorry to hear that you are having this trouble. The site is going to send an automatic phone call offer. It is not for me, please disregard the offer. I am not available via phone. Sorry to hear that you are dealing with this issue with your Samsung fridge. I am sure that it can become frustrating when it does happen for sure. May I ask, whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today? Typically, when this happens, a hard reset can be most beneficial for assisting in this matter. So, have you tried unplugging your appliance for 5 minutes to do a hard reset yet? If unplugging is not easy to do, turn off the breaker for 5 minutes and do the same thing.
I was responding to you on the site but got disconnected. Computer is now rebooting. Can we continue here? Hello?
I am here, and yes, we can continue here.
Thanks.
No problem at all.
The fridge was working fine with the exception that the ice maker would freeze up, so I called Samsung, and even though the refrigerator is out of warranty, they agree to cover the repair. They sent out a technician who replaced the ice maker unit and the main board. Half-hour later, the refrigerator was not cooling.
So he replaced the main control board and everything stopped running?
I called the tech to let him know. He said to reset it by turn it off and back on in 10 minutes. I did that, but no change, the temperature kept going up. After that, he never responded to my calls. Unfortunately, he is the only certified technician in my area, so Samsung has not been able to send anyone else. He will not respond even to Samsung. I put back the original main board on the fridge, but no change. After some research and testing, I figured out that perhaps the inverter board was bad, so I purchased one and installed it.
Okay, just so I can confirm, nothing is running, the fans, compressor, nothing? Just the lights on?
With the previous inverter board, I would get no code on the display, but the red light on the board would flash 8 times and plus 2 seconds, and compressor would not turn on. With the new board, I get a code on the freezer door display of 44E. Still, compressor will not turn on. The condenser fan and the lights do turn on. I have not been able to find out what code 44E means.
So the 44E error means the main control board or the inverter board is at fault and needs to be replaced.
I get the code with both the old main board and the new one, and with the new inverter board. With either of the main boards and the old inverter board, I get no code, but the inverter's red light flashes 8 times and pauses 2 seconds. Again, the fridge was cooling fine before he put in the new main board.
Okay, just a moment please.
With the new inverter board, the red light on it is out.
The light on the inverter board blinking would be a compressor locking error. Typically replacing the inverter board solves it, but if it continues to do the same, then the compressor would be the issue and need to be replaced.
Again, with the new board, the light is out. I also have a used inverter board that I borrowed from a shop which allegedly was good, and with the new one, the light is off.
So it's just the old board the light is blinking that was originally on your unit?
With either of the main boards.
Okay, so I'm thinking the issue has to be with the main control board he replaced it with. It's possible the bad inverter board may have damaged the new control board. So what I would do is contact Samsung and see if they would at least send you out a new board, considering what is going on here. The board itself is not hard to replace, however this should repair your issue.
I tested the output of the inverter at wires that go to compressor and get the 240 volts, but measured placing one prong on any of the 3 wires and the other one on the chassis. Not putting it on any combination of the wires.
So it measure right going in but not coming out on the compressor?
What you're saying makes sense, but remember that I put back the old board which was working fine and have now replaced the inverter board, and still the compressor will not turn on. None the output I measured was at the plug of the board. But I also checked the plug at the compressor end. Same thing. Number 2 leads give me the 240 volts.
I am saying I believe your original inverter board may have damaged the original control board. They replaced the control board, but the inverter damaged it as well. Then you replaced inverter, but the new control board was already damaged. However, given the plug is not producing anything, it really sounds like a bad compressor to me.
As I said, the 240 volts are not coming out of the inverter board. I do get 240, but only connecting one lead to any of the 3 wires and ground, not if I use any combination of the 3 wires.
Well, if the control board, main control board, is not powering the inverter, then there will not be 240 coming from the inverter. Between it all you have the control board, the wires, the inverter. Nothing in between any of that.
There is 120 volts getting to the inverter just fine. Also, the low voltage comes out of the main board and to the inverter just fine too.
So power is not coming out of the inverter. And you should get 120 out of the inverter. After looking at your parts, I see you also have a noise filter. Has this been replaced on the unit? Refrigerator noise filter DA2700043D parts, Sears Parts Direct. This board filters the electrical power supply to prevent control board damage from power surges.
I don't get 120 out. I get 240, but measured between any of the 3 wires and ground, chassis. It's weird because I'm not getting shocked by touching the chassis, so how is it possible that the chassis is 1 lead of the 240? No, that hasn't been replaced, but I am getting close to 120 at the inverter power input.
You have to have 2 wires to even read 240, and on a fridge you won't get 240, so the machine is either defective you're using, or something is reading wrong.
Like I said, it's weird, but I am sure there's nothing wrong with my tester. Anyway, thanks for trying.
No problem at all. It was a pleasure to try and be of assistance.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.